Joining us now is Bob Sagar, and we're going to be talking about water. Very, very clean, pure, delicious water. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm wonderful, Donna. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So, several years ago, maybe close to 2 decades ago, you made a plan so that there could be healthier, cleaner water.
Mhm.
What was the water quality like back then here in Long Island, and what made you so passionate about it?
Actually, I came into the water business in 1987.
My goodness. Okay.
Then I left. I went into the finance world, built a business, sold it, and then I came back into the water business. It's been an epidemic here on Long Island for quite some time. Do you remember the movie Erin Brockovich?
Yes.
That's what's happening here on Long Island.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
And it's my opinion, I think we take two things for granted in our lives: the air and how we breathe, and the water we drink and bathe with.
Hmm.
And it's an issue. Most people don't, they don't recognize it. They recognize the issue, but they say to themselves, okay, I buy bottled water. Well, it becomes then this vicious cycle. Okay, so I buy bottled water, but I shower in my home. And our skin is the largest organ in our body, which absorbs more water into our body than when we drink. But then when I drink the bottled water, it's in plastic and it stayed in the factory for 1 to 4 years before we got it. So it becomes this vicious cycle. And many years ago, my colleague realized that, and we came out with this one product, and then we opened up a store and then put, like kind of kitchen counters in there where people can come in with glass bottles and fill up and so on and so forth. And then eventually it got to the point where most people would say, okay, I'm tired of doing this. Do you have a whole home water filtration system? And then we aligned ourselves with an OEM with just brilliant technology, and here we are.
Do you still at your location test, like if I bring in my water? At one time when you first opened, I remember bringing in like a cup of water and you like dip some stuff in it and you're like,
Yes.
oh, do you still do that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
still will provide a test for someone to showcase.
Yeah, and what's interesting about that, and I'll tell you how the test goes, which is really cool, right? So normally we'll do a test, and while we're doing a test, let's say over here in this glass, we have people's fingers in here, and then we take their fingers out and do the test here, and it doesn't change. What happened? It was, no, everything absorbed into your body. And that's like the big shock. And we have 37 trillion cells in our body, and they all want one thing:
Water.
good, healthy, clean water. And again, there's an epidemic going here in Long Island. The water in the 5 boroughs is fantastic. It comes from the Catskills.
Okay.
It's wonderful. But Long Island is one big aquifer. And I won't cast blame here on the show, but there's issues, manufacturers and so on. And
also the farming, a lot of times, the chemicals that went down into the ground, sink down into the water table. So there's
that's what I
problems.
say all the time, like in the 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s, these were all farmlands, the chemicals, the pesticides. But then you got the manufacturers, then, all of the solvents and everything have seeped into the ground. Now you've got plumes on Long Island that are moving a foot a day and contaminating everything. The 1,4-dioxane, the PFOAs, the PFOSs. It's this ongoing vicious cycle. And then you've got young children in the house. It's an epidemic.
It absolutely is. And I also know that when you have an alkaline state, your body, you also tend to like flush out the toxins, right? So a lot of times if you drink water, healthy water, right, it will help you become in a healthier overall balance. Is that correct?
So
Are you going to
yes.
tell me I'm wrong?
No,
I don't know.
you hit it right on.
I
And,
did?
I
Okay.
could spend hours here on the show with you. But and I think what we need to realize is that when our bodies are acidic, that's when all the diseases, that's when all the stuff, the bad stuff grows in our body. When our body's alkaline, nada, nothing grows. We're running at all 12 cylinders. We have a healthy body. Nothing can grow in there. And that's, most people, probably 99% of the people out there are acidic. But we've got to do our best to get more alkaline, whether it's with water, whether it's with the right greens or so on and so forth. And every day, I mean, I've taken greens for 30 years. Years ago, you had to go like this to take the greens. And that's actually how our business started years ago, was with greens.
Interesting.
Today they're a lot more palatable than they were 30 years ago. But, it's like my dog. I have a big Bernese Mountain Dog. She gets alkaline water.
What's your dog's name?
Rosie.
Because when Rosie sees Daddy on TV, Rosie's gonna start being like, and at least we were like
You're gonna
calling
make
her
me
by
cry
her name.
because I love Rosie so much.
You're a pet parent. I get it.
Yeah.
So you want your dog to be healthy too.
I had another Bernese Mountain Dog prior to Rosie, and I think one of the things and she lived almost 12 years, and I think one of the things affected her at the end was the water. So, when I fill up Rosie's bowl in the morning from my kitchen faucet that has 9.0 to 9.5 alkaline water, she's getting alkaline water all day long. And that makes me feel good.
Yeah, she probably has a beautiful coat too from it.
Beyond
right?
words.
I love that.
Beyond words.
So cool.
And she's a supermodel.
Is she?
She was in Ralph Lauren's website.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I just watched that documentary and I thought it was wonderful.
Very Ralph?
Yes.
5 times.
Okay, I have only seen it so far
5
once.
times.
Okay, Bob, I'm gonna have to check it out. Reverse osmosis. What is that?
We don't do that.
Okay.
But here's why.
Sometimes people say, "Oh, we're doing reverse
Yeah.
osmosis," but that's not as great as what you do.
It was developed, reverse osmosis, in the 1700s to take salt out of seawater. It's very, very complex. There's a series of tanks. You have to add salt. But the reason why we don't do it is a fewfold. Is when the water goes in through the reverse osmosis, one, it decreases the water pressure throughout the home, number one. Number two, obviously, you need 4 gallons of water to make 1 good gallon of water, so there's a level of waste. Water bill goes up a little bit. If you don't add the salt in a timely manner, change the filters in a timely manner, it's called fouling. It takes the good minerals out of the water and affects the kidneys. And because of that, it's acidic water, so it doesn't align with our values, and there's constant maintenance. Our system was developed years and years ago. It's simple, it's self-contained, it backwashes, it cleans itself. It's good for 25 years, there's no maintenance.
Lovely.
Simple.
And I know that not just on Long Island, but now you're also starting to expand.
Just opened
You're
up
helping.
Florida.
Congratulations.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you're on a mission to help as many people as possible.
I think he just wants me to be the next Aaron Brockovich.
There you go. Save the world.
Maybe that's it.
One
I don't
life
know.
at a time. No, I feel that way too. And it's really why I started my show. I just want to give people hope. I want to give people hope, to watch something that can make their life a little bit better, make it a little easier for them. Somebody has compassionate or kindness or caring. That's the show. It's just the show.
One
So I feel like you're
homeowner
doing
at
it
a
with,
time.
right. I feel like you're doing it with water.
Yes.
So it was nice to have you here, Bob.
I was wonderful. Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much.
Thank you.
So please stay tuned, but pay attention to your water because everything that you put in your body is your body. Thanks for watching.